Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand how to generate drop-down controls dynamically. And I am going to give you an example of date of birth. Now you can see that here we have three drop-down controls for date of birth. One for mentioning the day, right? So we can have max 31 days in a month, and then the second drop down control for month, right? And we can have max 12 months in a year, and then the third control for year. And in this example I have mentioned all years from 1947 to 2020, right? Now if you see on this drop down control, it's a big list, right? And you know that how to create these drop down controls. Actually, these are select tags, and within select tag we have mentioned this much option tags, but technically you cannot mention this much option tags in your HTML document. So if I have more than 100 items in my drop down control, it doesn't mean that I should write 100 option tags. So that should not be a good approach. So that is why in this lecture, I'm going to give you a good way of generating these drop-down controls, and it's a smarter way of doing it. So let's open your home.html and register.html file from the project folder, and let me show you how can you do it. So this is the register.html file. So I have opened my project folder in the Visual Studio Code, and in this project folder we have home.html, register.html, and let me close the Explorer so that I can have more space to work with. And this is the code that we wrote in the last example, right? And here I need to first add some HTML in my document, and then we will understand how to generate these drop down controls dynamically. So just before the submit button, here I need to add a table tag. So I'm going to make my date of birth control in a table tag. So first I need to create a row, and within this row I need three different columns, right? So I can copy this and then I can paste it and paste. So I have three different columns in a row. The first column is for days, the second column for months, and the third column for years. And within this table data tag, I can write my select tag, and here I can write id equals to, let's say, day, okay? And you need to copy this one and you need to paste it in the rest of the columns. All you need to do is you must change the id here and then go to the third column, and here I am saying the id is year. Now notice one thing, we have not mentioned any option tag in these select tags, right? So there is not even a single option tag. So we are going to generate the entire data of these drop down controls dynamically with the help of for loop. So let's go to the ready function, and in the ready function we are going to write our code, okay? First of all, I need to write a code for first drop down control, which is for day, and you know that we can have max 31 days in a month. So I need to execute my for loop for 31 times, right? And here I need to write I plus plus, and within this for loop I need to generate my option tags. And in this example I am going to introduce a new feature that is offered by ECMAScript 6, right? And that is using backcourts. So let me first write down the code and then I will explain what is the purpose of these backcourts. Let me close my option tag here, and within this I need to write the values, and here I will write dollar and then my variable, and here I need to write value equals to again dollar and my variable. It's a very simple and straightforward statement. When you use backcourts, your JavaScript engine is going to interpret the value of this variable. So here you have written $I, so this value will be replaced by the actual value of the variable I, so which is 1 right now, right? And when you execute this loop second time, the value of I will be 2. So the JavaScript engine will interpret the value and it will replace $I with 2, right? This is how it will work. And then I need to add this option tag into my select tag. So I want a select tag where the ID is day, and then I need to append it into my drop down control, right? Let me save it. Now check your HTML file first. So make sure your document is saved. Now go here, and if you click on the register, see my first drop down control is ready. So I have all 31 options here, right? And we need to do this exactly for the month and year. So I can copy this for loop, and here because this is for the months, so I need to have max 12 months in a year. Rest of the code is same. I need to change the ID. So here the ID should be month. So I want to append these items in a drop down control where the ID is month. And let's do it for the years also. So in a year, so I want all years right from 1947 to 2020, right? So let me add it here. So again, the rest of the code is same. And here I need to change the ID of the select tag. Let's save it and go back, refresh your page. Now see, I have all drop down controls and ready to use. And here we have all 1 to 12 months, and then all years right from 1947 to 2020, right? So this is how we can generate our drop down controls dynamically, right? And I need to add one more thing here. What I can do, let me find out my table, and within this table I need to mention that the ID of this is date of birth, DOB, and I need a label for it. Label for equals to DOB, and here I can write date of birth. I can even write DOB, and here in the bracket I can write the date of birth must be in DD, MM and YY format. So let's save it. Go back and click on the register. See, I got a message, date of birth, DD/MM/YY, right? So this is how you can generate such kind of things dynamically. Now it's time to understand how can we fetch the data of this drop down controls, right? When you click on the submit form, so you must be able to retrieve the data. So what is the day, month and year? So let's do it. Let's go back to our code in a document ready function, and at the bottom here I can write, let's say, where D for day equals to dollar, and then I need to mention the select tag where the ID is day, and I want its current value. So this is what I can do. Then copy it, paste and paste, and then I want for month, and then I need year, right? And here you need to change the ID. Here I am writing month, here I am mentioning year, and once it is done, you can add it in your results unordered list, right? So this is what we used in the previous lectures, and here I can add it. Now you can see that I have mentioned that the day is D and the month is M and the year is Y. So we are getting the day, month and year data in these three variables, and finally we have added it in an unordered list where the ID is results. So let's save it, go back and now click on the register. So here I can write some data like John, and let me add it here, Carter, and let it be male. The workshop is Python and I'm choosing all checkboxes here. Now let me choose some dummy date of birth. Let's take it 8 and then August and then let's say 1980. Now click on the submit form. See, you got John Carter, a male. The workshop is Python, and all hobbies, movies, singing and reading. And then the day is 8, the month is 8th, which is August, and the year is 1980. So this is all about generating drop-down controls dynamically. So keep practicing on this, and in the next lecture we will understand some event handling mechanism.